This week marks the first week we extended the raid lockouts.
Extending is something that I'm never really in favor of. There's very few times where I'm like, dude, extending, great fucking idea.
So, extending a raid lockout as opposed to starting fresh and re-clearing all the bosses we've already killed is a card that Big Crits has played a lot over the years. In my opinion, we've played it a lot more than we should have, but at the same time I do acknowledge that for a guild that raids the number of hours that we do, but still wants to seriously push progression, it is sometimes a necessary evil.
When we extend, or at least this would happen with most guilds when they extend, people just slowly start to get more and more frustrated because it feels like you're just staying on the same boss for 12 hours.
The most important point to consider is morale or sanity, which is to say that what is the probability that another 3 consecutive nights of wiping on this fucking boss will cause one or more of your raiders to show up on their local evening news because they fucking snapped, walked outside, and murdered the first poor random fuck they encountered. Or, maybe they'll just burn out and quit.
So it begins. More Lei Shen. More dick on the anvil.
I'm the evil version of
Evil
Mikey.
version's more like it.
What? Yep, you got me. Good job, Time. Keep it up.
Progression was good. Someone to argue that it's not that good.
Progression on Lei Shen is very, very slow. You start off with each phase, and you work your way through the phase until finally you have it perfected enough that you can work on the next phase.
Really, I would say that the intermissions are the most difficult. You can't predict what's going to happen. You only have timing to go off of, but even then there's a lot of RNG based off of who's going to get static shock, who's going to get helmet.
We're having a big problem with inconsistency right now, and that's a huge issue on a fight that's as long as Lei Shen.
It was frustrating as shit, because people they're not doing what they need to go and do.
It's gonna take time to figure things out.
Tell me to soak with me if I get it, just so you guys know.
I got this.
Wow.
That was pretty pro, Susie.
That was pretty pro.
We're kind of stuck on the intermission in Phase 1. It's less, it's kind of chaotic, and it's people figuring out groups and where they need to be and stuff like that, but it's coming together.
We're really, really working on solidifying that Phase 1 transition, because that's really the hard part of the fight.
The first phase intermission basically looked at us and said, I'm gonna fuck you up, and there's nothing you can really do about it.
When you need to get to the second phase transition, and half the time you're wiping in the first phase transition, it just both detracts from the flow. You get out of a rhythm, and it's just not enough progression in one night.
I don't know if I can get it.
So phase 1 transition starts. Everybody should be in their spots already and spread out, because if you get a diffusion chain add, it's going to fuck up the tanks, it's going to fuck up the raid, and it might lead to a wipe. So spread the fuck out at the beginning. After you see him cast diffusion chain, not when the boss timer goes off, when you see him actually the beam, that's when you scoot in. So what's going to happen next is you're going to get an overcharge. And that's the thing that spreads out a wave that stuns people who are in it, and you stack up on the person with the overcharge, and you're good. So stack up, wait for the overcharge to go out, then Helm of Command is coming up next.
People are flying off with Helm of Command for some fucking reason.
You run towards the boss, and if it targets you, you're far enough in that you're not going to fall off. If you're on the edge of the platform and you get Helm of Command, you're going to fall off, you're going to die, you're going to be useless for the rest of the fight, because we can't target you to res you.
I'll admit that I fucked up on that a couple times.
Simple enough. After that, bouncing bolts come out. Soak them.
Fucking soak the fucking bouncing bolt, you worthless pile! Fuck!
Pay attention to the person who has static shock. Do not stand in the fucking static shock. It's that simple.
Static shock is killing them.
So use your cooldown, make sure you survive it, and then it repeats. If you can do that, no ads will spawn, no one will chain, no one will die. We'll get through the transition so easily.
They also both missed and didn't get any fucking...
Deliberately you got hit by the lightning whip. Because that's what he's actually doing, he's jizzing all over you. It's lightning jizz.
Makes sense.
What's jizz?
We're getting it. I feel like we have phase 1 and the first transition down pretty well, and we're working our way into phase 2.
The basic way you have to go and deal with phase 2 is put the boss towards the middle-ish of the platform, have the range spread out a certain distance from each other so they don't take multiple damage from ball lightning spawn, while also being able to grip all the ball lightnings in and stun them. So this is kind of like a huge choreography where you bring all the lightnings in, you stun them, and then you go boom and try to kill them.
We get in there and everyone kind of is like, oh shit, rotation, mechanics.
It's all about positioning, and it's all about watching those timers. And if you can't do that, then you're going to die a lot, and that's what's happening.
People liked to stand in fucking East Shabib and, not allow Warfiend's Grasp to pull their ball in. And instead the ball would just go fucking banana sandwich and just start slamming on top of people's faces. They would start to just, rape people.
So that's what's happening. We're getting into phase 2, we're getting the mechanics of phase 2 down.
And then on top of that, stuns were kind of an issue.
Oh god, that was pretty brutal.
It's really just all about practice, just getting it over and over and over until it just becomes automatic in everybody's head.
Here goes time.
He's way back there, so better structure to kill him. Ready for the chain, go chain.
The other thing that happened this week was the internet boss happened.
A couple of our healers were out of town, so I actually got to raid this week, more than I expected, which is a good thing, sort of. Did fine on Wednesday. I wasn't in on Tuesday, but I was in a bit on Wednesday, did fine. But then on Thursday, I'm at my parents' house, by the way, the internet just takes a poop.
So, I haven't been in a lot recently, but I was in for quite a bit Thursday, because we had so many GCs and internet and thunderstorms, and my kid unplugged my router bullshit.
People just could not stay online on Thursday, and it was just swapping people in and out. People just kept disconnecting, and on a fight like Lei Shen, a disconnect, you might as well either be dead or you might wipe the raid.
Fucking internet. How many DCs can this guild possibly have?
There was a tropical storm going over the northern Florida, Texas, all that area. And I live in Florida, so I was getting affected a little bit. I was at around 450 ping.
God, I'm disconnecting, and then Priest would have to life grip me away from lightning strikes.
Suddenly, Asteria and I both go offline at the same time. How can all of Houston lose the internet at the same time? It doesn't make any sense.
And I couldn't even get replaced very easily because Opie was having internet problems, and someone else was too. Internet problems were everywhere on Thursday.
I don't fucking get it, man. It was rough as shit.
We just weren't supposed to raid or something.
We had to call it early because we just didn't have enough people with stable internet online.
I feel like X should go to green. I feel like the two warlocks should go to green.
I'm already in blue.
This is for the second transition.
Hey, Green, if you didn't have enough people already, X is gonna give it to you.
Oh, damn.
God damn it, time!
It was a blah week, to say the least.
But we've been making good progression either way, so we're, chugging along.
We didn't get as much progression as I thought we were going to get in. However, we did perfect a lot of the areas that we needed to actually go and get in and deal with.
Right now, we just need to stay the course, and I feel like we're on a good track.
At the end of the week, I started feeling pretty good about our progression on it. So, we're probably going to save the lockout for next week and keep sticking our dicks in this blender.
Being that we can work off what we have for this week, we can probably take this and then move into the next week and then consistently get to the phase 2 transition. That's the biggest thing. If we're able to consistently get to the phase 2 transition next week, and then the next week we can work on phase 3 and we can kill the boss.
Right now, I think Big Crits is on its way to a reasonable kill time.
We need to focus, we need to get this done, and we'll have a good ranking.